Hello guys. Welcome back to our channel. Today we will be talking about a country with a vibrant history and cultural background. Canada checks all the boxes, whether you're a die-hard adrenaline seeker, a nature enthusiast, or a city person looking for cutting-edge culture. The second largest nation in the world, by land area, boasts an astonishing variety of landscapes. The vast Canadian grasslands suddenly rise to the glacier-topped Rocky Mountains. The mountainous, undeveloped coastlines give way to enormous forests and emerald lakes. Amazingly, this environment is also home to modern cities, beautiful communities, and far-flung native settlements. Before we move on with the video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Subscribing will only take a few seconds from you, but it will be a great motivation for us to produce more wonderful content for you. And don't forget to click on the bell icon so you never miss another upload from us. Canada is a nation in North America. It is the second largest country in the world after Russia, in terms of overall area, and occupies roughly the northern 2/5 of the continent of North America, with its 10 provinces and 3 territories spanning over 9.98 million square kilometers, 3.85 million square miles, from the Atlantic to the Pacific and northward into the Arctic Ocean. As a point of comparison, Canada is around 1.3 times larger than Australia and has nearly twice as many people, with approximately 39.25 million people living there. The length of its western and southern border with the United States, 8,891 kilometers, 5,525 miles, makes it the longest binational land border in the world, and it is officially bilingual in English and French, reflecting the country's history as ground once contested by 2 of Europe's great powers. The 3 main metropolitan centers in Canada are Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, and Ottawa serves as the country's capital. When Europeans explored Canada, they found native peoples living in all regions. Some were farmers and hunters, others were hunter-gatherers. The arrival of European traders, missionaries, soldiers, and colonists changed the native way of life forever. In 1604, French explorers Pierre de Monts and Samuel de Champlain established the first European settlement north of Florida. They allied with the Algonquin, Montaignais, and Huron, historic enemies of the Iroquois, and built a French empire in North America. France was then forced to recognize British control of Hudson Bay and Newfoundland, and Nova Scotia to Britain after the War of the Spanish Succession. However, more conflict between Britain and France was inevitable, and in 1763 the French were forced to surrender all their territories in Canada to Britain. Canadians started to disapprove of their government in the early 19th century. A French-Canadian uprising was put down in 1837, and Canada gained democratic rule in 1867 with the Union of Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick to form the Dominion of Canada. The first province to grant women the right to vote in provincial elections was Manitoba, and by 1925, all provinces had done so, with the exception of Quebec. The 1930s depression affected Canada, but World War II put an end to the financial hardship. Canada had hardship during the 2009 crisis, but it quickly bounced back. Canada's population is as diverse as its landscapes. From the indigenous peoples of the Arctic and the French Quebecers to the British immigrants and the rapidly growing Asian community, this is a multicultural country where about 22% of the people were born outside of Canada. There is no single national culture in Canada because of its vast historical and cultural diversity. Instead, the melting pot ideal of the neighboring United States is translated there as something similar to a stew with various flavors from the many influences that make up the greater Canadian culture. Despite the fact that both French and English are considered official languages, a region's culture is generally a reflection of the language that is spoken there. In Canada, immigrants have successfully absorbed into Canadian society while also maintaining some distinctive features of their home countries, particularly in the north. Still, the country comes together to celebrate Canada Day, July 1st, which honors the country's founding in 1867. When you think of the weather in Canada, you might think of extreme cold and snow, but this isn't always the case. The weather in Canada is as varied as its landscape. It experiences all 4 seasons. The weather is often warm to hot from June to August, with daily highs of 30 degrees Celsius or more. From September through November, the temperature begins to drop and there is often a lot of rain. Winters from December to February are extremely cold, with daytime highs frequently falling below zero. The weather begins to warm up from March to May, and the days are usually rather nice. The hardest aspect of traveling in Canada is choosing where to go. From the historic island of Newfoundland in the east to the Vancouver Island in the west, from the mountain-bordered wildness of adventurous British Columbia to the culturally diverse and festival-ready city of Toronto, Canada has it all. One of the most beautiful towns in the world, Vancouver is tucked away between towering peaks and the Pacific. It also boasts a temperate temperature, remaining comfortable all year long. It is warmed by ocean currents and shielded by those wonderful mountains. Mild 20 degrees Celsius summer temperatures are ideal for taking a dip on the city's beaches. Rarely does it snow in the wintertime, unless you want it to, in the hills nearby so you can go skiing while keeping an eye on the skyscrapers. There is a good amount of rain in this temperate rainforest, but that doesn't stop play and keeps the city and trees lush. Vancouver is also a very outdoor-friendly city. The city also conducts an annual cherry blossom festival. The streets are lined with trees, which are especially beautiful in the spring when they blossom. In addition, Vancouver boasts Stanley Park, a small area of rainforest with flower gardens that bloom in the spring and summer and stands of trees that sparkle in the fall. The park is huge, so take a Vancouver bike tour to see it all. You may use some of the 270 kilometers of bike trails in the city to travel along the seawall, among ancient spruce and pine trees, and through rich First Nations history. The Canadian Rockies are a range of mountain ranges and steep peaks that stretch from the Liard River at British Columbia's border with the Yukon to the border with Idaho and Montana in the United States. The Canadian Rockies are divided between British Columbia and Alberta. The region is undeveloped, with beautiful mountain communities scattered throughout and 5 of Canada's most stunning national parks: Yoho and Kootenay in British Columbia, Banff, Jasper, and Waterton in Alberta. They make up one of the largest protected areas in the world and have been designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site collectively. The Canadian Rockies are full of picture-perfect mountain towns, from bustling ski areas to quiet spa resorts to quiet logging settlements. One of the nicest is Golden, which is situated near Yoho National Park on the Columbia River. Due to its close proximity to the thrilling Kicking Horse Mountain Ski Resort, it is a real adventure playground of a town and is best renowned for its world-class backcountry skiing. It's not difficult to understand why many people rank Niagara Falls as one of the world's top natural wonders. Or possibly because it has played host to some amazing, and currently prohibited, daring acts throughout the years. Your mouth will drop the moment you see the massive Niagara River rumbling at 20 to 30, and as fast as 68 mph approaching a 188-foot waterfall. The speed of the river's fall produces a misty fog and a loud roar that can be heard for miles. Crowds gather at the rails from the top to feel the mist on their faces. Boats, platforms, and observation decks provide support for tourists wearing vibrant raincoats as you drop along the water's course. June through August is the ideal time to visit Niagara Falls. The waterfalls, mists and breezes can make the environment feel cooler. If you go during the summer, you may enjoy the weather and attractions the most. Additionally, the free Discover Niagara shuttle is running non-stop throughout the summer, making it simple to get between attractions. Due to the freezing temperatures, spring and fall see fewer visitors, yet each season has some benefits. The botanical gardens experience brilliant blossoms as a result of spring's increasing temperatures. In the winter, temperatures drop below freezing, closing numerous attractions including the Maid of the Mist boat trips. The harsh weather does, however, result in lower hotel charges. Toronto, the largest city in Canada, is the center of the art scene there, hosting ballet, opera, symphony, and Broadway performances. The famous CN Tower is also located there. There is no end to the enjoyment when wonderful shopping, fine food, and fantastic museums are added. The waterfront in Toronto has been continuously developed over the past few years and currently features lovely walking paths, eateries, and in the summer, outdoor concerts and cultural events. Beautiful beaches are located just outside the city limits in both directions from the downtown area, making them ideal for hot summer days. A public skating rink opens up outside the Municipal Hall in the winter, and exciting winter events like the well-liked Winterlicious add to the enjoyment. Montreal is a distinctive city with a lovely old historic quarter from the 1600s and a contemporary city core with a ton of underground shopping. Ancient Montreal is the primary tourist attraction. It has cobblestone lanes and amazing old buildings, making it the ideal site to get lost while strolling through the city's past. Many beautiful parks and beaches may be found in and around Montreal. In addition, Montreal is home to a large community of fashion designers. Chic boutiques, as well as charming hotels and eateries, adorn the city's ancient streets. Montreal, which lies in the French-speaking region of Quebec, has its own distinctive culture, but tourists who understand English will have no trouble interacting with anyone in the tourism sector. St. John's is a charming and historic city located in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador in far eastern Canada. Although this is the primary airline entry to the island of Newfoundland, many tourists come just to take in the city. Hillside streets with sloping sides and bay views are lined with colorful buildings. The vibrant atmosphere, the people, and the maritime culture that set this city apart from others on the Canadian mainland are what really draw visitors to the city despite its wealth of historic landmarks and attractions like Signal Hill and George Street. One can experience life in Canada's extreme north by traveling to Whitehorse. This location serves as a gateway to further northern regions like Alaska and the stunning Nahanni National Park. Prospectors passed through this area on their way to Dawson City during the Klondike Gold Rush, which is when the city's history began. Beyond the city limits, there are some stunning natural sights to explore, and many of the city's attractions provide insight into the days of the gold rush. If you're lucky, a Northern Lights display will light up the night sky. Like and subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon so you are the first ones to know when we upload another video. Share this video if you enjoyed watching it.